All right, welcome, everybody. How are we doing? It is Tuesday night, October 11th, 2022. I want to welcome you all. Thank you so much for coming in and spending your Tuesday night with me. This is super exciting. Now, I will say right off the bat, just to give y'all a heads up. So I'm trying to get the chat pulled up here, but it doesn't show that I'm live yet. I do believe that I'm live. So if you are in the chat, please just be patient for a moment as I try to get the chat up. It doesn't seem like No Empathy was streaming today. So shout out to No Empathy. I hope everything is all right and that they'll be able to come back through next week. But for me, man, what a weekend. This is a little crazy. We had a little event called Splinterfest, which which was a ton of fun. I'm still very much in recovery mode, so we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of days. But I'll actually be traveling. I'll be actually traveling again in less than 48 hours. In like 36 hours actually, because I'm heading out on Thursday morning to spend the weekend with some family and friends in Chicago. And if you can't hear it in my voice, I feel like my voice is still recovering. So we're getting there. Slowly and steadily, we are getting there. All right, sweet. I can see the stream now. And there we go. Oops, I'm sorry. And now I have the chat. So sorry if anybody chatted before I was able to hop in. But if you did, feel free to say hello again. Sorry to make you chat twice. But yeah, it was a fantastic weekend. I just gotta say, the team put in so much hard work. I don't want to even give shout outs because I feel like I'm just gonna end up leaving people out. This is something that and I've said this in several places, and I mean it in a good way, right? It feels as though Matt and Aggie were very hands off, right? They just showed up to Splinterfest, and so you can see what is possible when the two founders and the leaders of the company bring in good people and are just like, you guys go do something. And I don't know, man. I think that it was incredible. So shout out to the team. I know marketing did a lot of work. I know creative did a lot of work. And I'm sure there are many people kind of crossover between that who were just instrumental, shall we put it, in bringing us the experience that we had. And I'm sure many people were watching along or following along, and there were hiccups, there were fumbles, there were things that did not go perfectly, and I don't want to dwell on that in the sense that it was bad. I think there's definitely, I'm a football guy, so you got to go back through the film and review what was good, what wasn't. But I think it was a net positive for the game, for the community, for the space. I would say, again, I'm gonna plead ignorance here because I try to follow a lot of projects, but sometimes I'm only following in the periphery, right? So I'm not like in the weeds with a lot of other projects the way that I am with Splinterlands. And therefore, I don't know if other big gaming or crypto communities are throwing these massive events. And sure, is 300 people a lot? I mean, it's relative, right? But for the size of our community, for the size of the game, I don't know. I thought it was really impressive. I thought the ambiance, the vibe, the aesthetic at HyperX was phenomenal. I thought that the creative team and the marketing team did a great job dressing it up. I mean, you just look across the walls and it was just beautiful, man. There was like Oshure's photo, the artwork of Oshure, the artwork of all these new Riftwatcher cards, just all plastered all over, as tall as you are. And so it was just a great time. It was a great time. But here's the thing. I was talking with several folks, and I did a live stream earlier this morning with Darkest Night, and we were talking. I don't know if we talked about this specific thing, but or this specific live stream, but we were doing like a little postmortem before, and it's like, man, if this had been like in a conference room in the middle of Oklahoma, right, at a hotel in the middle of Oklahoma, it still would have been awesome, right? Because it's like it was about the people and just meeting all of the different folks from within the community. So obviously, you dress it up, you get some spice in there with what HyperX can offer, and the very cool venue that they have, and then you get Splinterfest 2022. So it's awesome. But I was like, if there's just a couple people there and it's just a hangout session, and I just get to talk to people about Splinterlands the way that I talk to the chat here, the way that I talk to people on YouTube, it'd be good to just do that IRL. New Age Investor, what's going on, man? Need this weekend to recover. Yeah, I mean, I'm traveling again, so it's gonna be wild. Elephantium is in the house. What is going on? Hello. Yeah, so I'm curious though. What are your thoughts? How are people here feeling about it overall? Actually, hold up. Someone's trying to call me so I can see the chat. How are people feeling about it overall? For those who attended, would love to get your feedback. For those who didn't attend, only Sunday was live streamed, and I know people are complaining because they're like, oh, like, only Walking Keys. Shout out to Walking Keys. What a G, man. Like, only Walking Keys was live streaming. That was by design. I don't think the team was planning to live stream any of the event outside of the tournament. And even with the tournament, after running it this time around, so because I only commentated on the first portion, right? Like I play in gold, so I just did the gold league tournament because I understood the meta and I know most of the cards. It's modern, right? Sorry, let me just get this popping. All right, there we go. So on the second half, I was able to do more of the production aspect and just be an extra pair of hands, extra pair of feet in the production room, right? And so I got to see how the sausage was made, whereas before I was the sausage that was presented, right? So it's like, they're talking to my ear, telling me like what game is coming up next, and there are some mix-ups there. It's not on them, it's on me, or if it's on, like it's just it was a working. We were just figuring it out as we went along. But the second time around, when it was Luthien and Bulldog, I was able to go in the back and be like, oh wait, why is there only one guy like doing the thing where you like line up the names to the numbers and get all of the different information to the people who need it? Because it's like the Weirbeard has information that he gives to our guy has to go through, or to Tyler or HCT, like he had to go through and like line up the names, and that dude has to give it to the people at HyperX that handle the like the displays on the broadcast, and then that dude has to give it to the guy who's talking to me in my ear, right? And it's like there's like this chain of things where it's like, okay, now that we understand it, there's definitely areas in which like we could have used like 2 extra people, right? Or for example, I keep saying this, I feel like we needed to clone Weirbeard, because Weirbeard, like, he just had everything in his head. He knew how he wanted this thing to run, and he had to be both the MC as well as the, essentially like the production manager. So, hopefully as we move forward, I think the big thing that we need coming out of this, and this is the direct ask to the community that I will kind of echo here, is we need more, hopefully more like resources or attention, or towards the tournament's side of things, and for these events, because I think, like I said, even with all the hiccups, I thought it was fun. And if you strongly disagree, then I would love to hear how you would like to run it, because maybe that's something that we can consider in the future, right? Like, but to me, there's a lot of I mean, and I was in it, right? So like, I'm the one on screen looking stupid whenever like that I'm like talking to someone, or I'm like trying to present something, and then the battles are flipped, and like the person that I'm talking about is on top but on the bottom, like, so I'm the one that looks like an idiot. And I just feel like, well, you know what, I feel like I'm gonna even give myself, and definitely everybody who worked so hard, a little leniency this time around, because it's the first time really doing anything like that. And so hopefully as things move forward, and if Splinterlands does something like this in the future, they'll be able to tighten it up and know where to kind of invest the time and resources in order to get a tighter ship right on this. So Necromancer, what's going on? They could have sold virtual tickets for exclusive access to live streams. I'm sure it was amazing for everyone there, but for the rest of the players that couldn't make it, it would have been nice to do something. You know, Necromancer, I mean, I don't disagree with you. And I think that's definitely a strong consideration for the future. I think there were a lot of ideas. The way that I see it now, though, is this is something that came together in a very, very short period of time, from my understanding, right? And so because of that, it's not that I'm not speaking as a team, right? Because I'm not a decision maker. I just work on music. That's all I do. So if I was running the show, though, right? Here's how I would rationalize it. And I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened, but here's how I would rationalize it. You're going to do something for the first time and you don't know how it's going to go, right? You have a bunch of new employees who have been there for less than a year. This is something that's done for like, it's being planned for a couple of months. And I'm not saying that the team or the leadership didn't have faith in them, but it's like, why don't we just do it and see how it goes before broadcasting it to the rest of the world, right? Like we'll broadcast the esports thing because that's like, there's a big focus on that. And I think that was an important thing to do. But like from the conference side, which was essentially Saturday, where they're just doing panels and talking about all the new things. It's like, let's just do it and see how it goes. We're going to record everything. And if it's great, then we can like release it. And if it's not, then they're going to have some phenomenal marketing material. And I mean that in the sense where they will be able to splice and cut and choose all of the different areas in which they cut, like all the different things that went really well, for example, right? And then make a 5-minute promo video or a 10-minute promo video. And this is what they'll send out to all of those large guilds that invest in Axie or that invest in these top crypto projects and be like, hey, we held an in-person event with 300 to 400 people that attended. And, here's a little snippet. Here's a little 5-minute show of like all the things that went perfectly, right? Because there's never, even in the best presentations, there's never going to be like a perfect run through. There's always going to be hiccups. There's always going to be snags. So, now with all the hiccups that they had, they get to hopefully someone is going to do this. They'll be able to get all of the footage, chop it up into something that ends up looking fantastic from a promotional standpoint. Because I'll tell you right now, whenever I do look around at a lot of the games that I was looking into a year ago, I don't think any of them have a promotional video from a live in-person event that they did that had hundreds of people show up and a huge esports tournament, right? So when you're here, sorry, not you, but like when people are here in the space looking for things to do or looking for projects to get into in the bear market, right? Bear market is where projects go to die. And so I think we've seen a lot of them go very quiet or die off. And now Splinterlands can be one of the few that has press in all these major publications talking about the fact that they're selling out of all of these new releases, the fact that they have all these partnerships with MLSPA, Double Coconut, potentially more in the future. And now they're going to have this event that they'll be able to, cut and choose and make a nice promo video out of. So when you're out there and you're looking for something, you're like, and I know I'm going to throw shade at Crypto Blades, but I haven't really been following Crypto Blades. But like that was one of the games a year ago where I bought some of the tokens, right? Crypto Blades, Rev Racing, my DeFi Pet. Again, I'm not following them, so I'm pleading ignorance here, and I might be making myself look stupid because I'm just like, maybe they are doing some great things, right? Maybe they're still building and they're doing some awesome things. But I'm just saying that like. From what I've been following, even on the periphery, I'm not seeing that same kind of like hype and marketing and FOMO and all the stuff. Again, I could be wrong, but it seems to be it seems to be something that Splinterlands is excelling at right now, which is impressive given the size of the community and the size of the project overall. I mean, this thing is really expanding into a lot of different areas that I feel like have huge potential. So but Necromancer, I would love for them to do something in the future in terms of having some kind of virtual presence there. I mean, they should have just set up like a live stream, and if you wanted to like have access to it, like burn DEC. I would have done that for the economy. It's like, well, how much would you have paid? Actually, this is a good question for the group here. Okay, so you can't attend Splinterfest. How much would you pay for access to a private live stream? In US dollars, or in DEC, right? Because if they wanted to like burn DEC, they could have been like, here, we're not going to make any money off this. We're going to like spend the resources, but we're going to do it for the game economy because we have too much freaking DEC in circulation right now. So if you want to hop in and watch everything live, then you can buy this much amount, or pay this much amount of DEC, and it's just going to get burned. So I'm very curious to know, how much DEC would you have paid in order to have exclusive access to watch a live stream? All right, Big Barger. Someone mentioned showing the tournament, people picking their teams. I like that idea. Yeah, there was so much that I would change with the tournaments and the way that tournaments were run and the format. And again, this is not shade at Weirdbeard at all. Weirdbeard was like a one-man show who like literally willed the entire tournaments to happen, which is fantastic. And again, I'm giving Weirdbeard a lot of credit because he was like front and center, but there's a lot of other people as well who put in hard work for that. So going back to the tournaments, Big Barger, you were saying the idea of people picking their teams. Here was the issue. There was a game area in the back, right, where all the computers were, and that's where they were having the players pick. Now, unfortunately, that should have been roped off, because there were people just crowding around the players watching them pick their teams. And so what ended up happening is that you would hear these big like, oh, this is crazy, right? Like all of the stuff that you love that makes this some type of esports. And you would hear that in the crowd there that was gathering around the players, the players who hadn't been eliminated yet. And then we would see it on the big screen and on the broadcast, like, I don't know, a couple minutes later. So it wasn't ruined for us, but it was just weird. And like, I would have loved for all those people to have been sitting in the stands, and for it to have been like a huge arena feeling, because at least during the tournament that I commentated on, I think it was the semifinals, there was that battle where I think Jin Inferni was the one who like stunned 3 times in a row to get that win, which was incredible. And so it was just awesome. Like when we all saw that was such a good battle for us to like show, and you could hear the audible gasp in the crowd, right? And by the end of it, it's like, okay, well, everybody's just crowding around the players watching this in real time. And so my thought process is I would love to get all of the players like locked away in a separate room, because it's like it lasts for 2 hours. So it's like, you just, if you're in the top 16, you're just going to be in this room for 2 hours, and you can watch the broadcast and you can see how it goes. And maybe it's 2 rooms, right? Because if you get eliminated, okay, then you go to this other room. It's a green room as well, so you're not out with the general public, but you can watch the broadcast and you're just kind of stuck in there. And so then at that point, it's like perfect, right? And maybe once you get to the semifinals, when there's just 4 people left, you end up watching every battle, but you also watch every battle with a camera facing the 2 players, a camera and something showing their screens, and you can watch them in real time, getting the rule set, picking their teams, and then show the battle afterwards. So I would love for something like that, but again, it was the first time, and we were figuring things out on the go. So in the future, I think that'll be something important to think about. Okay, so let's see here. JHU leader, what is going on? Cray Mundre, what's happening? I think a $50 online pass would sell. If they threw in a skin or something small for in-game, wow, that's a lot. I wouldn't pay $50. But Elephantium, that's not a bad idea. I mean, maybe they go like the NFT route with it, where it's just like they already have the Watcher title for Rift Watchers, but it would have been like the Peeping Tom title, the Voyeur title, because you're watching from afar. Zogu saying I'm cheap. I'd still probably watch Walking Keys stream. Yo, Walking Keys is a G, dude. I will watch the stream too. Let's see. So once the event sells out, it's going to be an easy decision to sell virtual tickets. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But we got to get there first. I mean, this wasn't even close to selling out. At least, yeah. I'll just say that. Playing SL with Demore says, I felt left out, not able to participate. I'm sorry you felt that way, SL, with playing with Demore. Here's the thing. It wasn't intentional. At least I don't think it was. And if it was intentional, it wasn't for like a negative reason. The team is just tight on resources, right? Like, I mean, we're deep into a bear market now, and like just getting the show done was a lot of strain and a lot of stress. I mean, these guys worked so hard for it, and so being able to set something up on the virtual side too, to me, it's probably just they didn't have maybe it's not even the resource. Maybe they didn't have the time, right? They were really trying to get this done before the end of the year, before the holidays, right? November, December, you're not really going to be doing events around then. So my hope is now, if they are planning to do another one, and they already have said, that I think I talked to Mad and several others who said they would love for this to be an annual thing. Well, now you have a year, right? You have a full year to plan it out. You have a full year to think it through. You have a full year for people to plan their travel, their accommodations, their all these different things. And so, with that being the case, I think it's going to be something where next year it's going to be a hell of a lot better, hopefully, right? Like we're really going to take the next step next year is my hope. But again, I'm sorry you felt left out. It was probably, like I said, just a lack of bandwidth and a lack of time to really get everything set up. So Ally, Sam, O224, you did awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys are very kind with your feedback. Playing SL with Demore, yes, I think an e-ticket and live official stream to participate in would have been great. So Virus, who is usually in these streams, and I think I usually see him around here, but I got to meet him live. Super chill dude. I had so much fun hanging with him because he was there like the first day that I was there. There was only a couple people, so we really got to like get into it, and like it's just fun to be like, oh, okay, like I'd seen his username on my YouTube channel and on here for like months, and then like I get there and I'm just like, oh, like you're just a regular person with like a real story, a journey, like everything. So okay, I'm going to start getting into that part. So talking to Virus, he had this fantastic idea, and I'm going to give him credit for it because I think it's really cool. But he talked about DigiCon, and I don't know if you guys have ever attended DigiCon, but there's like this virtual space that you can go into, and you can have an avatar kind of run around. And I thought that was, he's like, they should set up like a 360 camera in the middle of Splinterfest or some designated area. And then you can like go around and like see everything that's going on. But even better, I thought, was there will be a screen. So the cameras are set up there, but there will also be a screen next to the camera that shows the chat, for example. And so it's like, let's say I was walking past the screen, like, and you were standing there and you could see me, you could quickly chat and be like, hey, After Sound. And then there'd be a big screen where the chat pops up. And I'd be like, oh, hey, what's going on, Elephantium? I see you're tuning in for the stream. And I could just stop, right, and talk to you there. And people will be crowded around. The people live in the event will be crowded around these cameras, talking to people that are tuning in from other areas. I don't know. I thought that was a really cool idea. So it'd be fun if they could implement something like that. For sure. Crypto Ace is saying, real hard to commentate when the names weren't shown on screen. They were on the top, but what ended up happening is they tied it to numbers, And yeah, I would love for there to be something a little bit more official than that in the future. But again, see, like this was just how do we get the minimum viable MVP, right? Minimum viable product out. It's just like create a bunch of random usernames with 3 digits at the end, like Splinterfest 000 and or Splinterfest 111, and then just hand them out, and then you have to tie that to people later. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. It would be great if there was something better than that in the future, or if there was a way for people to like use their accounts. It's just a security thing for people to log in with their accounts there. So real hard to commentate. In real sports, they never let the audience gather around the players. Yeah, well, again, see, so these are the areas in which we're learning, right? So there needed to be some kind of security there, but I mean, I don't think there was any security. Everybody was super cool. So Big Barge is saying, I think $10 US. That actually seems quite fair. I think anything more than $10 would be difficult. Here in the US, $10 to watch the ticket, and like the thing is, if I wasn't going, I would still pay the $10 probably just to support the event, right? And again, it wouldn't even be supporting the event because my idea was it would burn DEC, but it'd be cool to just do it. So it's fair. It's not fair to have other players close to each other during the tourney. Yeah, again, you know, this is the first time we're doing something like this. This is what we were able to work with, and so, yeah, it smacks of unprofessionalism. Well, again, playing with Demore, like I don't disagree with you. We obviously want, you know, the team wanted to put their best foot forward, but there's learning opportunities from this. I think just being able to host something was a big win, and again, maybe that's why this was like a smaller-ish event. It's because we wanted to really want to really see what this would look like. Because here's what I think is missing in terms of content, or what the community is lacking in terms of the context, not content, but context. Nothing like this has ever been done before, right? Like, we all love this game, and some people have been playing for years, and we know that it's competitive, but we do that sitting at home or wherever you guys play the game, right? Sitting at home and like getting competitive by yourself. Like, we've never seen that or witnessed it in a large gathering and audience, and this is the first time. And so there are definitely going to be areas in which, like, yes, from a competitive standpoint and competitive standards across esports, we will need to have those kinds of standards implemented, right? And this is why I'm saying we need to lock all the players in the room. There should be like cubicles that are blocked off, so there's no chance of cheating. Like, there's got to be all that stuff, right, to have the highest standards of professionalism. But this time around, it was just to prove the concept that Splinterlands, as a game, and more specifically, I want to put this out there, more specifically as a crypto game, is competitive and exciting to watch, right? And I know you didn't get to see all of that, and it wasn't able to be presented in that way, but even just the little bits and pieces, when you're in that excuse me, when you're in that giant arena and you see a miss, or you see a stun, or you see something, and everyone just goes, oh, like that was crazy, but you do it with 300 other people watching. There's a feeling there, right? It's like going to a football game or a basketball game. Like, it proved the concept that this can be done at the highest levels. And now that we know that it can be done, and now that we know that there are players who will travel from all around the world to come and compete in these tournaments, and people who will travel from all around the world to participate and just be there, right? Just be there to experience it, to meet with the community. Now we know that, right? We've seen it. And I think it'll only continue to grow from there. The concept has been proven. And so it's just a matter of, okay, we take this, we tweak it, we throw a crap ton more money and resources at it, and let's make it something even better. Because now we know that it works. Now we know that it's real. And so I don't know if any other crypto games have done that yet, right? So to me, I thought it was a big step forward. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be so competitive, right? We don't need to be comparing ourselves with other games. The only reason I keep bringing that up is because it's just like, I do feel like Splinterlands is doing a good job. The Splinterlands team is doing a good job of innovating in the space, but also like pushing the envelope forward for like trying, bringing in new partnerships and creating new products and bridging stuff to Ethereum and now like live in-person sports events. So, this is just another check off in, all the crazy stuff that they've been able to put out for the last couple of months, I would say, since maybe August or so when the airdrop ended. Excuse me, guys. I'm so whenever I travel, I always get like super dehydrated, so that's why my voice is just whatever. All right, sorry, let me go ahead and see where I left off on comments. All right, so Elephantium saying, hey, names could easily be fixed as a graphics overlay. See, that's a great idea. Also, if we didn't know account numbers, we could not see who won in-game long before stream was over. That's a good point. New Age investor saying the tournament was cool as a community gathered around some great players with awesome strategies. Yeah, I mean, I learned so much about the meta, right? Because I don't play in Diamond. Well, actually, I'm playing more in Diamond now, but at the higher levels of like Diamond and Champion, and I only have the newer cards. But it was interesting to like talk to a lot of these players who were in the top 16 and just be like, wait, like, why are you so good? Right? Not in a negative way, but it's just like, what, like, how do you think about the game that's different than me? Right? Because I've been playing for a year. And here's the thing, I don't consider myself a good player, nor am I trying to be the best player. I think the game is fun, it's addictive, and I like it. And ranked rewards play is easy and short. Like, it's short and sweet. But I have high hopes to see the real geniuses around this game start to emerge. And one of the things that I loved about the commentating actually was that, like, you've not here, but like on my YouTube channel, we were running tournaments. There is myself and Darkest Night. We were running tournaments with the intention of like, I want to make celebrities. I want to create celebrities, right? And that's why, like, when I had my first conversation with Weirdbeard privately to talk about tournaments, and then when he asked me to do the casting, we just hit it off so well, because I'm like, I want to be in the business, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to do with my YouTube channel. Like, I want to be in the business of like creating celebrities around this game, because that's when you create celebrities, when you create personalities, and you can really highlight the people who are cerebral and think about this game at like a totally different level. That's when people get interested, right? And we need that, because right now a lot of the top players in the game who earn stupid amounts of money are anonymous, right? Or we don't know if they're botting their accounts, or we don't know if such and such. And I'm not trying to throw any shade, and I'm not trying to call anybody specifically out, but we know that it happens at the highest levels, and there's rumors of it happening in tournaments, there's rumors of it happening in brawls. So that's why, to me, the most important thing is to get people physically in a room where it's just them and their brain and their strategies and their experience, and they bring that to the table. And so that's why Splinterfest was so important, or the tournament at Splinterfest was so important to me. Okay. Allies saying, I wouldn't say I'm professional. I would say they were just really excited. It was first live in-person event. Yeah, again, it's just a learning experience, but thanks, Ally. Elephantium, I think a lot of things can be improved for next term. Overall, I think it was good for the first time. I thought it was great. And here's the thing. What sucks for people who weren't able to attend is you didn't even get to experience the best part, right? And I'm not trying to like throw this in your face. It's just like, literally the best part was shaking people's hands and looking them in the eye. Like that was just so, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just so cool to see other people who love this game and this community the same way that I do, right? And that was like incredible. And it's, again, I keep going back and I'm just like, if that's all Splinterfest was, that would have been enough for me. And everything else just ended up becoming like the cherry on top. And so, I really hope that in the future we build upon that. But just being able to go and meet people was awesome. Craig Andre, like a trial and error event, but it was a successful one. I appreciate that. I gave myself a high five when I beat After Sale with my rental account an hour ago in Diamond. Did you really? Let's see. Can I find it? I have been grinding because my ECR was sitting at 100% for like the entire time I was gone. I didn't play and I don't bot my account. So is this you? Oh, Elephant Rental. Yeah, you crushed me. Oh, I don't even know what I was doing this game. That was just such a dumb idea. Thinking that Blight would make it happen. GG, so. New Age said, I was next to Aggie in the first tournament, and he absolutely loved the community watching the battles and rooting for players. I think Weirdbeard's budget is about to get bigger for next time. So again, I want to stress that, like, because that's the conversation that I had with Weirdbeard. Like, the community needs to ask for more of this and needs to ask for better versions of it the way that people are doing now, right? It's just like, oh, it was cool, but we could definitely use such and such, or we could definitely use this, or this could be improved, because that's going to give Weirdbeard and anybody else who works on tournaments the ammunition that they need to go to the leadership team and be like, hey, like, community loved X, Y, and Z, and they want us to do better with ABC, right? And we're going to need X amount of dollars to do this, right? Not at this point, I'm running out of letters. So let's see. If Keys didn't film, I wouldn't have been able to see you live. You put on a great show. Crypto Ace, thank you so much. And I mean, shout out to the HyperX team, but the sound was awful. So I'm just glad you guys enjoyed it, because it was, as somebody who's performed a ton, the sound on the stage and like for the music perspective was not up to par for me. But I know for the HyperX team, they don't normally do music stuff, so I get it. But you know, Ape of Wall Street, did I refund my suit yet? Why would I refund my suit? What suit are you talking about? Oh, the one I wore during the casting? I don't think I can refund that anymore. I bought it like 5 years ago. You have to be a whale to be top tier. What's going on, North Tribe? What's going on, Matt LA? I think this has just become a chill Splinterfest recap stream. Trying to answer your guys' questions for those who weren't able to attend, trying to get some more feedback from people who did attend. I think my ECR is good for the day. I'm going to let it rest. So, but we can, you know, it's crazy. For the last like year or however long I've been playing this game, it's like every day I'll go in and like check the markets and I'll do something here and there. And it's just like this past weekend, I was finally so busy, even though I was doing Splinterlands related stuff that I had no idea what was going on within the actual game itself. I wasn't playing, I wasn't checking the markets, I wasn't trading anything, I wasn't selling my vouchers. It was just crazy. So let's see. JHU leader saying 1, 2, 3. Jobby Saints in the house. What's going on, Jobby? It's so good to see you here. Matt's doing good. I'm glad to hear that. Neo just saying second place in both tournaments was not a whale. Showed how great the idea of ghost cards are. Yes. So you know what I loved? Excuse me. Schnapoon is a silver level player. And I don't know if you guys remember like the Zen Sports controversy a couple months back, but I love the fact that all of those bots from Japan came to the tournaments and dominated. So yes, Schnapoon was there. I believe he normally plays in silver, and it was great. I actually got to interview him beforehand because we were not doing like official broadcast interviews, but because if you saw at least while I was on, I wanted to have like backstories, right? Like I said, I'm trying to create celebrities. So if you saw, like, I had my little cheat sheet in front of me and I was going through it. Every time we talk about a player, I asked them a couple of questions. So there was like a list of 5 questions that I asked every player in the gold tournament. It was like, what league do you normally play in? Or where are you coming from? What league do you normally play in? When did you start playing the game? Like any random facts that people want to know, that you want people to know about you, right? Because my job as the sportscaster or the commentator is to like I said, I want to make you famous, right? So I want to tell your story, like how did you get here? And then the 5th thing was like, is there a guild that you're representing? And so I was able to talk to most of the players, I believe, most of the gold level players, and so I had my little cheat sheet there. And so Schnapoon was saying that I think he's an esports player. It was his manager from like the esports side that told him about the game. But that's when I found out that he's only a silver level player, and dude qualified for both gold and champion tournaments. So that's, I don't know, that to me was pretty crazy. And then got second place in both of them, which is nuts. I mean, that's still a good amount of land, right? Black Rose Yukina, yo, just passing by. What's going on? Zen Sports banned them. I know, it was messed up. Playing SL with Demore. Please stop calling them bots. Yeah, no, I was being sarcastic. They're not bots. I never believed that they were bots playing SL with Demore. So sorry if that came off the wrong way. But if you remember the community, or at least Zen Sports, they were being called bots. And then I was like, oh, well, take a look at it. Now it's Splinterfest. These supposed bots showed up and they kicked ass in the tournament, right? So that should shut up all of that conversation at this point. They flew literally halfway across the world. These supposed bots flew halfway across the world and dominated the tournaments. So there should never be talk about it unless, I guess, you're me and bringing it up again. So I will stop now. You love that Shapoon beat Kira, who was the one who accused him of being a bot. Oh my gosh, that would have been an interesting, scandalous storyline. I mean, that is a very terrible mistake, error, accusation that hurt real people. Indeed it was. It was ironic that Shapoon was the one to beat him out of the tournament. Hey, karma's a real thing. Karma is a real thing. Let's see here. So Jabi's saying, you can see how skill plays a vital role in Ghost Card tournaments. Oh, 100%. So I talked about this. When did I talk about this? I guess earlier today in my live stream. But I want to reiterate it here because I think it's important. There was a player who did well in one of the tournaments. Didn't win, but did well in the tournaments and was already being, what's the word? It's not poached, but like approached, right, by other guilds. Because he was telling me afterwards, he's just like, yeah, had some people come up to me and they're just like, oh, what guild are you in? Are you happy there? Do you like it? Right? Because remember, Brawls for SPS, or SPS for Brawls is going to come out soon. And so, yeah, I don't know. Things could get crazy. And I really feel like guilds are going to become like sports teams in a sense, sports franchises in a sense, and they're going to want the best of the best. And they might even pay you or get endorsement money and get you to come in and play for them, which would be crazy. Let's see. So Ally is saying he got a placing in champ leaderboards every end of season 2. North Tribe, was it not allowed to get players on camera? Seeing those interviews or at least headshots next to their lineup during the battle would have been much more fun. Okay, North Tribe, I don't know. This is a good question for Weirdbeard because my understanding is that he did want to get interviews with the top 16, like on screen, on camera, and he wanted those to be playing. So like, in between, like we'd have like a segment where, how like on ESPN or whenever there's like a sports thing, they'll go and they'll like show an interview during a not commercial break, but like, just in between like the plays or stuff like that, where it's just like a 20-30 second thing. But we just never got around to that. And I think it was a bandwidth thing, right? Like didn't have the time on Saturday night after the qualifiers were done. I mean, I was there late with Weirdbeard. That dude was working hard, taking photos of everyone, but didn't have a chance to do actual video recording interviews. And then between late Saturday night and Sunday morning when the tournament, the top 16 started, you would have needed to have someone who could video edit all of that and make something cool. So can it happen? Yeah, but you probably need a team of like dedicated people who are willing to like do that, right? And work through the night or work through that time. And again, it's a bare bones team that tried to put together the event, which I'm not saying in a bad way. It is what it is. Boot Tops, thank you so much. Let's see. So is Kira. Okay, well, I won't talk about it anymore. People are thinking that I am spreading the slander. Well, that was not my intention. Dr. Crypto, what's going on? Hello. So good to see you. Also called Karmic Payback, right? Yeah, indeed. Okay. Where I leave up? Okay, so Javi saying, "Oh, you were good at hosting. Thank you." Well, if you enjoyed the hosting, I will tell you that I enjoyed it as well. It was my first time doing anything like that, but I actually had a really good time. With all the hiccups, with all the craziness and everything, like I actually had a really good time with it. It was a lot of fun for me, and so if they ever do it again, I would be happy to jump in. So we'll see how that goes in the future. Also, as far as I know, Kira's never man enough to say sorry. I was wrong. You know what? I don't know. I won't get into it because I don't know the rest of the story. I just heard the controversy and then I was like, that's just not something I want to get into. But I'm glad that we have content creators like Ashley, NFT Gaming, who got into it, dug into the details like a true reporter. My channel is just fun stuff. I do dumb things there. She does the real stuff, gets the real story, gets to the bottom, finds the truth. I'm just like, what's going on with SPS? All right, well, I appreciate the kind words, Crypto Ace. Scouted, Boot Tops. You know, Scouted isn't, it's closer. It's definitely closer than what I was thinking. It's like incentivized. They're like trying to like wine and dine it, but I can't, the word is not, it's not on the tip of my tongue right now. Dr. Crypto, thank you so much. I could be a top caster in games or an analyst. I mean, the thing is, I don't understand other games the way I understand Splinterlands. So like, you know, it came so easy to me because I'm like in this thing day in and day out, right? And it's like, if we just want to talk about a specific card, I'll have a million things to say about it, both from a game standpoint as well as like an economy standpoint. And I was trying to throw that in. If you guys saw the casting part, like I was trying to throw some of that in where I don't want to necessarily talk about the crypto side of things, but I was talking about like the values of cards, right? Because I forgot what summoner it was, or there was a card that was like we were talking about, Luthi and I were talking about, and I try to consciously make the comment like, oh, you know, the market has valued this card at like much less than its peers, right? Like, and that's literally just talking about this, what we were looking at, like the market, and going to like Rift Watchers, for example, and being like, well, clearly the market has spoken about the difference between Dahlan and Ilthane, right? Or, you know, Dahlan and Skargor. So I think that adds a cool element. I don't know, maybe you guys don't think so, but I think it adds a cool element because it's like, you know, you can't just go buy cards for like that are unlimited from an in-game store where all of that value goes back to, you know, the company, like a Fortnite skin or something, you know. And this is different. This is like there's limited amounts, and we can talk about that. Now, for the ghost card tournaments, it doesn't matter, but what it shows is that outside of the ghost card tournaments, which is, I would say, like still the bigger part of the game, the market speaks on certain things, and I think it's cool to like have the analysis run into that as well. Recruit, maybe, you know what, Darren, that's probably it. Maybe I'm getting too fancy. Darren, I think you hit it on the money. Recruit. So Boot Tops, thanks for helping us get there. Ada Perk, what's going on, bro? All right, we're talking about Kira now. It's all right, guys. I'm not gonna get into that. All right, so very true. Weirdbeard's energy is so phenomenal. Yeah, Weirdbeard is. I mean, he was so much fun, man. I just hope that man has a chance to sleep. He didn't want to get interviews maybe just to give players their personal space. No, I mean that was the idea, at least from my understanding, is that they wanted to get some interviews done. But again, I don't know. Here's the thing. You guys have to understand that at the highest levels, this game will not be anonymous, right? If you want to make millions of dollars as a competitive player in this game, the people who are paying out the millions of dollars will want to know who is getting it. So there will be KYC for all this stuff. And not just that, like think about endorsements. Think about where this money is coming from. It's like they don't just want to give you a check. They want to make sure that when you leave, you're wearing a hat and a t-shirt that's branded with their logo on it, right? And then you have a check of money from them in your pocket. So there's no like we're at this interesting cross section between Web 2 and Web 3 where that's always going to be there, right? And I don't know that like Web 3 ever gets fully pseudonymous or yeah, I guess pseudonymous. At least not for like big money coming in. Because again, it'll always be botted. Either botted or you won't know who's truly behind the mask. Farfi, what's going on? Hello. Liberty guy off the grid. I'm late yet again. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it all. Playing SL with more. Did I mean to make you feel like you're spreading slander? Just want the community to be really clear about the fact that they are real players with great skill and should be heroes in the community. You're a great streamer and did an awesome job. Well, I appreciate that, playing SL. I did get a little worried that I had offended you, and so I just wanted to roll it back, but that was never my intention. I genuinely feel the same way you do. What rubbed me the wrong way about that was it, and not even talking about the people involved, but just the process in which it happened was like too much of a witch hunt without like due process. Right? It was just they're bad, and everyone's like, yeah, right. There wasn't like an investigation before any action was taken. There was none of that. So that's what always rubbed me the wrong way. But like I said, I thought it was awesome that like the people who were wronged flew halfway across the world to show up and kick everybody's ass. That was awesome. Sponsored, endorsed. Yeah, we're getting there. Thank you guys for. I'm still just struggling. Oh shoot, it's 8:52 already. Man, these streams go by so fast. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Stop it. All right. Vozana. Let's see. How do you feel a couple days after the fest, man? Awesome performance at final day. Thank you so much. I feel great. I mean, I'm tired and I'm traveling again. I have a really busy day tomorrow. Today was like my day to relax. And relax I did. But tomorrow I got a super busy day, and then I'm flying out early Thursday morning to go spend time with family in Chicago. Well, and what I'm seeing, maybe you and Slimmy can do a weekly Splinterlands news update, making Splinterlands feel like really into esports setting every week. It's going to be good content. Yeah, what's funny? Somebody else mentioned that too, and I think there might be an opportunity for that. I think the space might be ready for that. So keep your eyes peeled. So somebody, okay, let me put it this way. Somebody approached me and was just like, we're just having a casual conversation, and they're like, oh, it'd be a really cool idea to, like we can do where somebody comes in and it's like a newscaster and just like talking through like, here's what the market did this week. Here were some of the top, not battles, but like top maybe tournament winners, and like, let's essentially just like a news or ESPN style, like once a week where you go in, and then you can also do like, instead of like the news, they could do a crypto like forecast, right? Like what's coming up, what are some of the major things that we should be like noting about, like when the Ethereum merge was happening, or maybe when the not inflation, but the Fed like meeting is happening for interest rates and stuff like that. Like what's on the horizon for like this next week. I thought it was a good idea, and I was like, oh man, yeah, that would be so cool. I would totally watch it. And then they're like, yeah, but you should do it. And I was like, no, I don't want to. But I don't know. Maybe we will. We'll see. There's just people with like phenomenal ideas, and I try to throw out as many ideas as I can. I'm just like, oh, if you guys ever watch like me on YouTube, I'm just like, oh, here's a cool idea for like a game that you could create literally adjacent to Splinterlands or using Splinterlands assets, because I'm not smart enough and I don't have the time to like go out and do it. But I just want to throw these ideas out there because at some point, hopefully, there will be somebody who has the execution abilities to go out and get it done and create something. And I hope that they make a ton of money doing it. It's not gonna be me. But exactly, you will be doxxed. Any professional sports event will always be full KYC. Agreed. Playing with SL, just like in every top game, you'll be representative if you keep winning live attorneys. Crypto Ace is saying hopefully it will get better and bigger every year. Bigger and better every year. I need to learn more. As Farfai saying, I want to see. Okay, so Playing SL says I want to see 4 regional tournaments to end up with top 4 from each to compete. Oh, that would be so cool. Playing us, I would love it if we did a regional. Now, are you US based? Because again, like, damn, we should totally do it. I mean, it'd be great if we had like people in Asia, people in Europe, people in the US. But I wonder if they're just going to keep things US based for a while, which is going to suck for people around the world. But most of the team is here, and it's just easier to coordinate here. And that's the tough thing, because this is a global game with a global community. And I don't know anything that's going to be happening. It's just like I know that a lot of the team is here in the US, so it's like it just makes sense. It's more comfortable. It's easier, and maybe they shouldn't be going for easy, but I hope that doesn't just end up being. Oh, BB Omega, I'm sorry, man. Vonak, we never went for our karaoke. I was too busy. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you, man. You remembered. Oh, how kind of you. I wasn't going to say anything. I was actually planning. Here's the thing. I was planning to not stream tonight because obviously it's my birthday and I was going to go out and do some stuff. But I'm heading to Chicago to celebrate with friends, and I went out for dinner earlier with family. But thank you for remembering, man. It was so fun hanging out with you and Crossy in the short time we got to chat. So hopefully at some point we will be able to do some kind of karaoke. Like Crypto Banter or BitBoy, Crypto Ace is saying. Yeah, I agree. Who do I like? I think it's Coin Bureau. I really like the content that Coin Bureau puts out, which is like just news focused and like not hype and FOMO, but just information and education. So Alice, I don't know what Vanak means in Splinterfest, but it's definitely a different thing in Tagalog. Oh, does it mean something bad in Tagalog? Okay, so Vo means, and Nate told me this like 2 days before I performed because he wanted me to integrate it in my set. So Vo means like to be aligned or to like move in the same direction. And then knock means to have like purpose and drive. And so together, when you combine them, it's like together we rise, together we fight, right? And so like it's going to be the chant or the cry for the upcoming rebellion whenever that does drop. Playing SL, no, I mean world region. So Asia, US, EU, and Latin America. Actually, yeah, that'd be pretty good. Oh, thank you, Crypto Ace, Jobby Saints, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you guys. Oh, Nardian's in the house. Nardian, you ready to go live? I think I'm gonna throw it to you in a couple minutes here. It means stupid, but not V. It's B. Oh no, it's definitely V is what he went for. Coin Bureau is entertaining. Yeah, dude. I mean that dude is super smart. And you know what I love about him? He doesn't like monetize any of his stuff. Like none of his videos are monetized. Like he just puts out good content. I really appreciate that. BB Omega, you came in at the perfect time. I'm about to hop off here, but I appreciate you guys all wishing well wishing for my birthday. It's just another trip around the sun. That's all it is. But age is just a number. But I appreciate you guys, and I think I'm gonna get kicked out of here soon with it going to Nardion. So I will start to say my goodbyes. Dave, Ira, hello, goodbye. It's good to see you guys here. Thanks for hanging out, and yeah, I will be back next week. As long as I don't have any issues with my flight. I am flying back on Tuesday, but I should be back in time for my stream next week. So I will chat with you then. I hope everybody here has an amazing end of season, and I will talk to y'all soon, okay? Enjoy. I'm sending you some good RNG. Nardion, I hope you have an awesome stream. I will try to tune in for at least the beginning part of it before I got to run. But otherwise, have a great time, guys. And enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see. Nardion should be happening live. There we go. Peace.